Hi, this is PC here, and I want to do another Squint 180, so we're going to get right to it here this evening. A little bit different setting here tonight. So this is about keeping our spiritual focus, staying focused. I was reading in Nehemiah, and Nehemiah is all about a man by the name of Nehemiah going back to Jerusalem and rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem. And there's discouragement. There's an enemy, Sanballat, and some other men who try to discourage him from rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem. And it says in Nehemiah chapter 4, Sanballat was very angry when he learned that we were rebuilding the wall. He flew into a rage and mocked the Jews, saying in front of his friends and the Samaritan army officers, "What does this bunch of poor, feeble Jews think they're doing? Do they think they can build a wall in a single day just by offering a few sacrifices? Do they actually think that they can make something of stones from a rubbish heap, and charred ones at that?" And so he's trying to discourage them from this great work that they want to do. And it says, they, Sanballat, all made plans to come and fight against Jerusalem and throw us into confusion. And so the story about Nehemiah is Nehemiah and these people are doing a great work of God, rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem to reestablish the people. And these enemies of Israel, of God, these enemies are trying to keep them unfocused, distracted, away from this work that they have to do. And I noted in my SOAP journal this week, in Nehemiah 6 it says, "So Sanballat and Geshem sent a message asking me to meet them at one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But I realized they were plotting to harm me, so I replied by sending this message to them, 'I am engaged in a great work, so I can't come. Why should I stop working to come and meet with you?'" And the thought I wanted to share today is that we mustn't get distracted from the call of God in our life. We mustn't get distracted from that thing that we believe that God has called us to do. And there are people and there are things that will come along and cause us and try to distract us and cause us to get away from that great work that God has called us. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep your focus. Whatever has our attention, all right, has our focus in our direction. Attention steers our direction. And so we want to make sure that we're focused on the very things that God has called us to. That thought about attention determines your direction came out of a book that I read by Andy Stanley called The Principle of the Path. And it's the idea that the very thing that you're looking at, that you're staring at, you end up going towards. So you want to make sure you're not distracted, and you certainly don't want the enemy to keep you from that valuable thing that God has for you. Nehemiah wasn't to be distracted, and wasn't to visit Sanballat, and certainly not in a village that's called Ono. And so we don't want to do that either. We do not want to get distracted from the things that God has called us to do. We want to maintain our vision, our vigilance, and we certainly don't want to meet the enemy in a place that's called Ono. Because when it's Ono, that means that we have lost our focus and we're not doing the things that God wants us to do. So today, my encouragement to you is to keep your focus. God has called you to a great work. I don't know what God has called you to do, but I know for me, He's called me to pastoring, to mentoring, to encouraging people spiritually. And so, whatever He's called you to do, own it, live it, walk it, stay focused, do everything you can to keep feeding that, and don't go to the valley of Ono. Keep your focus. Have a great week, and we'll be in touch next week.